Welcome back, John. I don't know how well this is going to work. I'm trying to find out where to get me. Oh, here we go. Get shareable link. Copy to clipboard. Here we go. Working. Okay, this is better. Game over, man. Yeah, absolutely. Buffer under. Don't say. Yeah, I do actually have root access to the admin control panel to this router, so I could kick everyone in this house off of it, but I'm not going to. I'm not that mean. It's the advantage of having the router in the airing cupboard in there. It's really bloody frustrating because there are got a sweat on. It's stressful trying to set it up and it's not working. Hello, Eugene. Yeah, there are two routers in this house. There's the one in this airing cupboard, and it's hooked up for their it's not tea, it's water. The one in the airing cupboard is hooked up to the heating system, so it's necessary for it to be there and whatever and not be tinkered with and stuff. There's another router across the other side of the house that way. It's like about 30 feet away or something, which I don't have access to, and the one in here is ADSL or whatever, and the one in there is fiber. Doing my bit for society. Yes, providing entertaining for those who are entertained watching someone who doesn't know what the hell they're doing. And hello, Jim. How's it going? It is going. But I had, what have I had? I've had an Xperia E. I took that back within a day because it was an utter piece of shit. And I had two Xperia M's, and they both lasted exactly 6 months and were also completely shit. Who's got hiccups? Oh, is it Buff? No. Oh. Don't want it buffering, want it silky smooth and everything and stuff. Actually, I mean, I don't care about the video. The video can stutter and everything. As long as you can hear me, you know, there's nothing to see. It's me here in a bad t-shirt with a Neo Geo running behind me, which isn't a Neo Geo at all. It's a PS1 mini thing. How am I avoiding the Koofers? Well, what? I don't know, actually. The thing about that, the thing that we're not allowed to say the word of because YouTube get their knickers in a knot, and other things. About 2 weeks ago, I was ill, dodgy guts, utter exhaust, like everyone was going mental. So I thought, no, it can't have got around here. And it probably hasn't got around here. But on the other hand, they're saying lots and lots and lots of people have had it and don't even realize. So I'm not 100% sure. I don't know, no way of telling because they're not testing. Because going to get political here, any government minister who goes on the telly and tells you they're ramping up testing is lying. And the BBC are lying. So it's all bullshit. Had the Xperia about 5. You've had 5 Xperias. You're brave. Hello, Luke. Luke Morse 1. How the hell are you? Metal Slug 3. Yes. Bit of lag. There will be a lot of lag. My bandwidth is absolutely appalling. My upload is probably, if I'm lucky, about 250 kilobits per second. No megabits here, we got kilobits. I'm well, yeah. I was just saying, I don't know if I've had the lurgy or not, but if I have, I'm fine now. Yeah, I saw Faulty Cog. I saw you mention something on Facebook, and I did wonder. Metal should. The stat, it's not bullshit, or the stats would look like China. The thing is, the stats look like they are because they're behind, because stats will look great because they're not tested. Talk about confirmed cases. Well, there aren't many confirmed cases because they're not testing. Yeah, but I don't want to turn it off. Yeah, 14. Well, I don't think I ever got this kind of bandwidth on the 14.4, but it's probably not far off it. The Metal Slug games are bloody brilliant. Yeah, we are 2 weeks behind Italy. You're watching the live stream, Dave. It is still live. Anyone who starts watching the recording later on, sure if they're watching it live or a recording, it is currently 1 minute past 2 GMT. If it's not 1 minute past 2 GMT while you're watching, this is a recording. Belarusian government pretends everything's fine. That feeling when even Russia is taking measures and we haven't even bothered. Yeah, I know what you mean, Eugene. There's a lot of it going on. Some places have looked better. Thank you, freaky deaky dude. I'm sure I have. At the end of the day, as long as you can hear me, because there's nothing to see. It's me in a bad t-shirt talking shite, really. What day is it? Yeah. Do you know what? I really have to think about what day it is, because I mean, it's been, how long has lockdown been? I don't know, but I kind of went into lockdown the moment I was furloughed, and I was furloughed not last Sunday, but the Sunday before it. And I've been pretty much, I went to Joe's I went that Saturday. Did I go that Saturday and stayed the night and been back here and basically locked down ever since? And I don't know what day it is anymore. They're all the same. And hello, Imperia 685. Greetings from England. Watched The Stand last night. I watched the original The Stand when it was on Sky One, like back in the 90s, and I kind of liked it then, but I watched a rerun of it recently and not so much. But the whole bloody hand of God thingy at the end of it just is like, I find that with a lot of Stephen King, it starts out good and I'm thinking, yeah, this is really good, and then it gets to like the punchline, if you like, and I'm just like, that was shit. He annoys me with that, so I don't really like his stuff. Heard of Gun Force? I don't know. This isn't on MAME. Well, it's sort of on. Emulator is on there on RetroArch. Greetings, Dom the Bomb. Welcome. Gaming console sales are up. I'll bet they are. Yeah. I bet the postmen aren't aren't pleased about that, because I don't think you can go into a shop and buy one. They've all got to be delivered by Amazon or whoever. The Mist. I like The Mist. Yeah, I saw that and I quite enjoyed that. How do you emulate if all the sites have been taken down? They haven't all been down. God, what's the main site? It's the main site, Wayback Engine thing, archive thingy, Internet Archive. Go on Internet Archive and do a search on there. I didn't tell you that, obviously, especially not on a YouTube stream. Yeah. Hello, Lee Kempster. 7 a.m. there. Blimey. I'm all right. Yes. What genre of game should you play today? One without a virus. So no, actually, no, play Virus on the Commodore Amiga because it's great. What's the wrong website? I mean, yeah, have a pre-lockdown pub simulator. Babies will, yes, there's going to be an awful lot of that. And you know, on with that train of thought, what the hell is going to be up Pornhub? They must be getting hammered. Their bandwidth bills and whatever must be through the roof. I hope they're well funded. Greetings from England, Federico. I'm not going to talk. Getting hammered. Who's getting hammered? Oh, the bandwidth. Yes. Oh, I see what you're saying, Luke. I'm unaware of that website completely. Plans for today. Yeah, I'm doing it right now. This is my plan for today. It's not much of a plan, really. Sit in front of a computer, talk shite. Hope not to bore. Record another. Good God, there were. Okay, there's 38 of you now. As I was talking bollocks and left. Recording videos day after day, trying to do one a day is kind of stressful. So I'm just not going to do that today. I want to break from that. But in the of providing some kind of service, entertainment, torture, call it what you like, I thought I'll just go live and talk shit and lose any kind of revenue from ads because I'm using profanity, and you have to do this self-certification thing now. And apparently there are penalties for miscertifying. And I do use a bit of profanity every now and then. So if I do that and say I'm not, okay, well, we'll see how that goes. Like diary entries. What? The diary entries, I played Resident Evil 3 remake yet. No, I haven't. To be honest, I don't really like the Resident Evil games. I played the first one way back in the day on the PS1, completed it, had to use a walkthrough from a magazine. And that's the last time I played it beyond getting to the bit where the dogs jump through the window. Spoiler for anyone who hasn't played it, there's some dogs that jump through a window. If you haven't played it, rock living under thing. Doing a great job of keeping you entertained. Thank you. You're all very easily amused, and I'm thankful. I do. Hello, Gruss. Greetings. Welcome. What day is it? I've got no idea. What year is it? Where's my jetpack? Nothing like well-timed swear. I agree. Had certificates in France for the last 2 days. Now you have to state how long you're going out for. Oh, blimey. Yeah, we haven't. You're allowed an hour, but then others have said there's nowhere it's written that it's only an hour. And there's like some police forces are being a bit heavy-handed. My mom uses more profanity than you do. She's a Sunday school teacher. That's awesome. Does she do that in the middle of the lesson? I tell you what, I can swear like a trooper. I just try not to. I mean, I'll throw in the F-bomb sometimes, but I'm aware that, especially at the moment, I want the ad revenue. I'm doing this for the fun of it, but money matters. Been playing Ghouls and Ghosts, still lives up to its name. I suck at that game. No, I mean, I suck at most games that I make videos of. But I've never... It's a game that I'll go and I'll play because I know that it's a well-made game, and I never get very far. And then I like wonder, why did I play that? Because I know I suck at it, but it keeps pulling me back. I don't even know if I like it actually, but I still try. Yes, yeah, yeah. That's my diaries, isn't it? I remember what you're on about. I don't keep a diary anymore. I suppose, yeah, this would be a good way of doing it, but it's kind of no point actually doing a diary at the moment because what am I going to say? Got up at 5:30 a.m. because my body clock still thinks I'm going to work. Swore when I realized it was 5:30 a.m. and I hadn't got to go to work. Tried to go back to sleep, couldn't. Got up, had a cup of coffee, sat down, read Twitter, had porridge, read, because why not? Went back to bed, slept for another hour and a half to 2 hours, got up, had second breakfast, went back on Twitter for a while, replied to comments on YouTube, made a video, uploaded a video, watched comments come in over the course of the rest of the day. That would be my diary every day. Right, now I've got to scroll back and see what everyone was saying while I was blathering on. Still taking great pics of Sheffield. I want to go back to Sheffield. I haven't been, well, I can't at the moment, obviously. And Sheffield is not a safe place to be at the moment. Outside of London, certainly in the north, Sheffield is like the epicenter of lurgy. Don't want to go there. The issue with swearing, Jim, is that advertisers don't want anything to do with videos that have got swearing on them because they're putting on family-friendly adverts and considered not family-friendly, even though everyone, like, you should hear what the 10-year-olds in Milton Keynes talk like. Good God. 1/4 trucker, Steve. My dad was a trucker of sorts. Yeah. Very working class, me. And it's funny, actually, because where I live, Worksop, it's extremely class. It's a working town. It's a mining town in the north, and they swear like hell and sound common as muck and everything. Coming from down south, they all think I'm posh. And then I throw in an F-bomb here and there, and they're like, didn't know you did that. Yep, hop into horror. Government is corrupt. BBC is corrupt. Corrupt. Is there anything in the world that isn't corrupt? We're living in what? Brave New World, aka 1984. Yeah, totally. Hello, Robot Monkey. Greetings and welcome. You know, I've never. Lonely Planeted, buffering a bit from, yeah, I can only apologize for the buffering. I'm on like about 250k kilobits per second upload. It pathetic bandwidth, can't be helped, I'm afraid. Yeah. There's Joe. Hello, Joe. I don't know how long ago you said that because I've been scrolling through the scroll. Anyone who can see Joe there in the comments, that is Joe, who I have mentioned before. That's my girlfriend. Hear my English going. I'm taken aback now. I didn't know you were going to chat in the chat. I'm going to get all awkward, even though I knew you were watching. What do I think about the very first Atari Pong console? Never played it. Never played an Atari Pong console. My first Pong console was a Binatone Mark 10. Okay, I don't know what. 200 euros fine, but if caught for, oh, is that with needing a permit thing? God, yeah, we've got some. I mean, the fines they talk about here are varying. I've heard one where there are people being fined £960 for being out without good reason. What's my favorite electronic music band? Oh God. Well, I suppose it depends what you would want to classify as electronic music, because Nine Inch Nails is very electronic, but also very industrial, techno, metal, rock. Not Living Through Soylent Green. I've never watched Soylent Green, but I have watched Delicatessen. I like McDonald's. Reading the comments with lagging. Yeah, There's the thing is, the comments are coming through late, and then I'm reading them even later because I got to kind of try and keep up. And I'm trying those names in the high score. Oh, do you know, Ramstein. I've never listened to Ramstein, though. I bet Joe has. Her taste in music is quite different. Depeche Mode. I do like Depeche Mode. Yeah, they're all right as well. There's others. Oh, who's the band that did Born Slippy? Because I can never remember. I like them. Prodigy, yeah, I like them. Chemical Brothers, like them. Have I seen Logan's Run? Hell yes, I watched Logan's Run when it was new on TV back in the day, and the film. Yeah, and we're kind of getting into the realms of that now, but it's not in that. It was like if you were 25, they killed you. Well, now it's 75, and they don't kill you, but they will let you die. It's pretty scary. Underworld, that's it. I do like Underworld. Hello, Simone. Greetings and welcome. Those of you who don't know, Simone is rebuilding a Yamaha RS125. And I love watching her videos because I had an RS125 way back in the day, and it's just like a big nostalgia thing. And I hope when she's done, hers works a good bit better than mine did, because mine was an old bastard. This nation's saving grace. Thank you, Faulty. I love that album. I really do. It's bloody fantastic. What are we on about Blade Runner? We're on about the soundtrack now. I've got the soundtrack for Blade Runner on CD. What did you make of the whole big beat scene in the 90s? I don't know what that is. I'm aware of like breakbeat. Is that the same thing? Which Chemical Brothers I liked, but I've not really got into any musicals. There are only two bands still doing that, Nine Inch Nails and Gary Newman, because David Bowie died and Marky Smith died, and Sisters of Mercy aren't releasing anything, and everyone else has kind of fizzled out and gone away. But new band, Black Sabbath. I like Paranoid, and that's it. Who is it? There are three bands around at the moment that I really like. They're kind of new, and I don't know if they got recording contracts. Black Midi, Black Country New Road, and Squid, and they're awesome. And I just keep streaming them on YouTube. I mean, they're probably on the other streaming services that I don't use. Spotify, I've got it. I don't use it. I don't like it. It's annoying. Oasis fan. I like their first three albums, and then I haven't listened to anything since then. Can't believe they simply lifted a Nine Inch Nails track directly for that Old Town Road pop track. I don't know anything about that. The Darkness. Good Christmas single. Don't know anything else of theirs after that. Try Monster Truck. Oh, is that a band? Oh, I've never heard of them. I'll look them up at some point. I shan't do it now because the audio will filter into this, and I've been sitting here without music. I have music on all the time. And now I'm sitting here and it's quiet apart from the sound of my own voice and this thing, and it's just kind of weird. But if I put music on, copyright strike. Though I could put my own on. That kind of from my own material. And I don't know how many of you would even like it. It actually is on my YouTube channel, but I've got them all set to private because a certain arsehole out there started putting in fake copyright claims. And the way the YouTube copyright system works, to counter it, you got to give your name and address. And that's just not okay. So I just set them all private. Yeah, I don't do Twitch. Play music. Yeah, well, half of the thing with playing still have my Amstrad GX 4000. Yeah, I do. I still think it's a piece of junk, but I've still got it. In any of my videos where I've got a system, I've still got it, except oh God, what is it? My Video Genie. I haven't got that. When I moved into this place, it was like anything that didn't work 100%, or there was no chance of fixing it easily, and that was going to take up a lot of space, didn't come with me. So the Video Genie didn't come, and the Commodore Plus 4 didn't come. That had got a dead TED chip. The Video Genie was just too big, and it was booting into a garbled screen. And while the tape deck went round, it didn't seem to be connecting to the computer itself, so it wouldn't input data off of the tape, which was pretty bloody annoying. So other than that, I think pretty much Video Genie, kind of exotic. I think they came from Hong Kong, and it was just like a cheap-ish clone of the TRS-80 Model 1. And I'd got a load of TRS-80 tapes, which I also didn't bring with me. And that's sort of frustrating because I guess they're kind of rare, and some manuals and stuff. But space is at an absolute premium in here. I mean, can you see? Software, actually. And, you know, just not space for it. And then found that I couldn't, and it took me ages to work out why. Cargo hold was already full of stolen goods. I don't remember stealing it, but it was full of stolen goods, and it wouldn't let me sell them. So I would have had to have gone and flown off to somewhere or other that accepts stolen goods to empty me cargo hold. And I was like, I can't be bothered with this. I can't remember how the navigation works, or Xbox 360 style joypad, but it's not like genuine one. It's crap. I don't like it. It makes playing games really, it's just got too much of a dead zone on it. It's very all or nothing. X4000, what was Alan Sugar thinking? Why not go for a 16-bit? He was doing it on the cheap. Basically, he'd got a load of 8-bit systems. He'd got this 8-bit architecture. So since Commodore had done it and Atari had done it, he figures, actually, I mean, had Atari done it by that time? Well, they sort of did, didn't they, with the 5200 originally. It was just a cheap way of making a console and jumping on the console bandwagon, but it was too little too late, and just stupid, because all that happened was, well, you know what happened. Basically, games you could buy for a fiver on tape got dumped onto cartridge for 30 quid, and people looked at it and said, you're having a laugh, mate, and quite right too, and Alan Sugar's a twat. Did I have to sell the stuff I couldn't take? No. Some stuff I gave, there wasn't time. It was aggravating. It took me 2 weeks to move everything, because I did it single-handedly, moving it all in a Fiat Panda. So yeah, it was bloody hard work. Yeah, late to market, like the CPC as well. Yes, it was. So it's like you late to market with the computer, and then even later to market with the consoleized version of it. But there you go. Still remember me playing Jimmy White. Yeah. Hello, Wesley. Greetings and welcome. Alex Higgins was probably one of the greatest players who lifted a cue, not to mention Joe Davis, Steve Davis, and Jimmy White. Message held. Helped a friend move house in a VW Polo. Yeah, moving house just in a car is hard work. Huh? That is a name. Hello, Drogo, son of Voltan. I love that. That's a great name. Is that a Flash Gordon thing? Anyway, I am staying as safe as it's possible to be, living in one room but sharing a bathroom. So relatively safe. Yeah, thank you. Hey, look at that. I'm all caught up. Alan Sugar with a 16-bit, he would have given Sega a run for their money. No, I honestly don't think he would. Alan Sugar had, back in the day, a talent for making money by selling cheap, cobbled together electronics, and he hit on something with his sound systems and whatever. You know, the whole all-in-one cheap shit stereo that looked like something good until you had to look at it properly and realized it was cheap shit, and they sounded god awful. But he did hit on something there. It was low-cost electronics. But that, I think, whether that was luck or judgment, I don't know. But to be a success in the gaming market, you've got to know the gaming market, and he didn't. And it wouldn't have mattered what hardware he'd have come out with. It would have been wrong. No, he would have had no chance, whatever. It just, Alan Sugar's a twat. Please don't anyone email him and tell him what I'm saying. Do I have a Pandora's box? Yes, I've got a Pandora's box 4S Plus. It's quite good. It's got 180 games on it. It does suffer from screen tearing, which is kind of annoying. And worse than that, some of the games on it, it's like they've used a stupid shit hacked ROM, like Galaxian, for God's sake. They've used a hacked Galaxian that is not Galaxian. It's wrong. It's just, and it's like, there are two games on it that I really, really would like to play. One is Galaxian and one is Gyrus. Now, Gyrus plays all right, but the sound is knackered. And the sound is a massive part of the appeal of that game. So it's like, damn shame. Classic film. What's a classic? What have I missed? I don't know. Simone hated it when he bought Sinclair. Yeah, kind of. I would say kept them going for a while, but he didn't really. I suppose the +2 and the +3 on a practical level were all right, but it just wasn't Sinclair anymore, was it? Thoughts on the Intellivision Amico? No thoughts on it. I've really not paid a whole lot of notice. I don't. It's another one of those things I look at it and think, I don't get the point. I don't know what its capabilities are. I'm so completely uninterested in it. It's like I'm not into the Spectrum Next, but I know more about that. Woman taking the piss out of Alan Sugar's email phone thing. No, I didn't. He did breathe new life into the Spectrum, though. I don't think he breathed new life into it. He kind of put it on life support, so it died more slowly. If he'd have breathed new life into it, he would have upgraded it beyond giving it a Yamaha sound chip and a built-in tape drive. There would have been a Spectrum 2, meaning not like the +2, but like a new. They're rare. Well, I don't think they're rare. I've got a 464. And here's a funny thing. I mean, I actually like it. The 464 with the tape drive. I've got this 6128, whatever. I can't remember what the numbers are on it. The one with the floppy drive as well. And the games on it are quite good. I mean, graphically, it's better than the Spectrum. I actually think it's better than the Commodore 64, though the sound isn't as good. But there's not a lot on it. No, there isn't actually anything on it I really want to play. When I'm emulating it, there are only 3 games I ever used to have in Intellivision and loved it, especially Dungeons and Dragons. I've got an Intellivision and an Intellivision flashback. My Intellivision is a bit dodgy in that the colors are all completely wrong. So whatever I play on it looks weird. And then the flashback, I think it's a NES on a chip. It's kind of not right and not very inspiring, and it bugs out a bit. But I was given it for free to review, so I can't complain. But I'm not a fan of the system. I'd rather play on Atari 2600, albeit it's got inferior graphics. I just think the games are better. Explain what it is. Just not fun. From next. They don't interest me. It's like I've got a Spectrum 48K rubber keyboard with a Div MMC cartridge thing, Div MMC Future from The Future Was 8-bit, and it's great. I can instantly load any game I want to play, and it's like, bam, there it is. Great. Jetpack, really. I just want to play Jetpack and not much else. 3D Ant Attack. I don't need a new fandangled Spectrum updated thing to do that. And having seen some of the buying, great, cool, but if I wanted to play that kind of game, I'd play on an Amiga. I won't knock anyone who's bought one or anything. I mean, I said this recently, but I don't see the point. Maybe that there's probably a point that other people are getting or that is valid to them, but to me, no, it doesn't appeal to me at all. A lot more games were made for the 128 than what? Were there more games for the 128 than the than the 48K? I don't know. I stopped paying attention to Spectrums after, well, basically by the time they did the Spectrum Plus. It kind of is. It does. It's like I said somewhere, and I think it was on Twitter, lockdown basically now means that I can continue to live my life exactly as I've been living it for the past couple of years. The only difference is people don't look at me like I'm a weirdo because everyone else is doing it as well. Yeah. Do you think they will make a PS6, or do you think PS5 will be the last one? I have absolutely no idea. Don't know. I don't think streaming is the way forward anytime soon. I think they're going to need to keep making hardware that runs the game on the system and doesn't stream it. Every time someone tries it, it fails because, well, look at this. I can't even bloody stream more than 240p to you lot without breaking up and stuttering and buffering and everything. And lots of people are in the same position. If they make consoles, virtual consoles, where wasn't enough game developers on the CPC. Yeah, well, Sinclair and Commodore had pretty much, though I grew up, like my system at the time was the Acorn Electron. I like the Atari 8-bits. I think they're fantastic. Do I think that virus will push up the price of consoles and games? Yes. Certainly consoles. I think because the hardware is made in China, it's going to have an effect. Demand might be reduced because all those people who had a good solid income who haven't got a job to go back to. I mean, mine is furloughed, but is there any guarantee that I'll have a job to go back to? I have no idea. I'm utterly screwed if I haven't got Hungry Hippos and I haven't got room on my table and I haven't got anyone to play it with. Well, not at the moment anyway. Looking across at the window that Joe is in, I don't know if Joe's still with us in here. Spectrum Next is kind of, I won't say I don't think of it as a Spectrum, I just don't think of it. I have a Specky 128K. I tell you what, I've got a 48K with the rubber keyboard. I've got a Spectrum Plus with the plastic keyboard, though there's something wrong. The video signal drifts. It works, and then it just all goes wibbly wobbly. And then I've got a Plus 2, which works, except the modulator on it is shit. And I should do an RF mod on it, but me doing any kind of mod is a dangerous idea, so I haven't done anything with it. And I've got my 48K rubber keyboard one I bought off of with an RF mod, so it gives a signal, which it does that slightly weird pixel jump thing where it bobs up and down by 1 pixel every so often, which is kind of annoying, but oh well. Same here, Ant-Man. What? Where? Ah, right. Okay. I'm not keeping up with who's in the room. Heard people saying it could be months before we get back to normal. I thought, what are they talking about? This isn't normal? Yeah, I've got no idea how long it's going to last. The thing is, they have to find a vaccine. If they don't find a vaccine, the only way for there not to be hundreds of thousands of deaths is to maintain a solid lockdown. But then economies go to hell, and you've got socialism, which in capitalist nations is like they don't like it. So they're inclined to unlock lockdown and let people back out. It's like infection rates will fall, so they'll say, okay, you lot, you can go out now, it's safe. And it won't be safe, and it will start all over again, and they'll have to lock down again. It's never going to be okay until they get a vaccine. I mean, the idea of lockdown as a solution only works if 100% of the population are locked down, can't go out. The infected people either get treated or they die. The virus then can't spread to anyone because it's either spread and they've recovered and their immune systems have killed it, or the patient has died and the virus dies out. But that takes 100% lockdown, and you're not going to get that. So without a vaccine, we're screwed. Okay, ran over. Hello, AD Sneaker Freak. Greetings, welcome. And EPROM9, Simon, hello. How's the self-isolation going on? Permanently work from home. I'm not strictly speaking self-isolating, lockdown. So it's going all right. I stay in this room. I don't know how many other people there are in this house now. Really, I don't think they get it, because they keep having guests coming and going, and they keep coming and going themselves. And it's like, they stay away from each other, but idiots. Yeah, so I stay in here. I have to venture out from time to time, obviously, because the toilet is out there. And I'm like, I wash my hands in the bathroom. And thankfully, I've got a sink in here. So I get back in here and I wash my hands again. And I get like a disinfectant wipe and I wipe the door handle. And oh, my goodness, listen to me. That's not a dry cough, I'll have you know. I do keep bringing up phlegm, so I think I'm all right. And like I was saying earlier, I may have had it already. 44 people watching. It's 33 now, so 11 of them got bored and went away. That's all right. With all the chaos and everything on Earth, do I think this is the end of capitalism? My God, I wish it was, but no, I don't think so. No, people have really, really short memories, and I think a lot of people also just don't understand what's going on, why it's going on, why capitalism has failed, that it's capitalism that is a massive part of the problem in the first place, and an awful lot of problems. No, people don't get it. Memories are short. Things will go back to some kind of normal, I think, because people are stupid. You don't have democracy, and I favour democracy. Though having said that, we haven't really got proper democracy in the UK, and not in America either, because democracy is so heavily influenced by the media, and the media is biased. So people aren't able to make an informed decision. The only difference between here and China really is, well, here's capitalism and China's communism, but it's about as free and fair. In Portugal, you have 209 deaths. Yeah, I think Portugal actually has a really good record on their like rate of detection, and I don't know if it's lockdown or if it's testing or whatever, but they're certainly doing a better job than over here. Hi, Steve from Rochester, Minnesota, USA. Love your channel. Thank you, Adam. I tell you, it's nice. And hi, Sushi Sunshine 2000. Trying to say that quickly is that's a tongue twister. It's great seeing a lot of, I should say, faces, names in here that I don't necessarily see in comments, but that I'm somewhat familiar with and some I'm not. And it's just great to see you all in here and talking. Simon, the gas mask. I saw a photo about a week ago it was, I don't know if it was on Facebook or Twitter, of a person out and about in a town centre somewhere or other. They got a gas mask on, but they also had a full anti-chemical warfare suit, which was cool and great that they'd got it, but they hadn't got gloves on. It's like everything, full body protection, awesome, but bare hands. That wasn't you, was it? Social support requires a good economy. Not sure we'll have a vaccine for years, but we just have to lower the transmission rate enough that hospitals can handle the sick. It's a fair point there. That's probably what they're trying to do. They say that they're no longer following a policy of herd immunization. That was demented. But I'm not convinced, because not much has changed in what's actually happening now between now and when they said Geo AES and only one game. As of recently, have you bought any more? No, I haven't. They're too damned expensive. So anything you see Neo Geo wise is either on this PS1 Classic or on the, I've got a Neo Geo, what do they call it? You know, the little arcade thing, Neo Geo Mini. Jim Plays Games says capitalism isn't failing the people in power, so that's why it persists. Yes, that's absolutely right. The people who run the media are loaded and they want it from bats. There is evidence that the virus was actually in the human population significantly before the whole, how do you pronounce that town? Wuhan, whatever, that place, and the wet market thing. It's been around longer. It's just that it was less virulent. There's a word that's not easy to say. And I don't know why. Yeah, it's been around a bit longer. I don't believe any of those things. China is hugely capitalist with state control. I don't know, actually. Maybe. Certainly they've got quite a lot of money there, and I don't really know how they're doing it. Definitely a lot of state control. Yeah, I'm aware of the biolab in Wuhan. Still not convinced that it's a man-made thing. There's some science that says that it's not. Years ago, and the one that blew me away the most was Metal Slug 3. I haven't completed any of them, or actually played any of them to any great degree in a long while. It's like I keep loading up Metal Slug 1 to get very far, and I mean, when I completed them, I was just like doing continues, lots of continues. Now I don't. It's like I lose a few lives and then I move on to another game. Steve and the old man puppet. How are you all? Well, I hope. Hello, Paul Pollington. The old man puppet. Isambard. Hold on a minute.
Hello, I'm here. I've come to answer your questions, except I...
Sorry, what? Not me on that. Yeah, that wasn't Simon with no gloves and the gas mask. It was on the front. I didn't know it was on the front page of the Times. I don't read the Times. Yeah, Yasin RGG90. Wi-Fi has kicked the bucket, so I can't connect to work. So listening to you on 4G. Well, thank you for listening. Listening is probably the best you'll get because I think my video stream is like barely working. But cool, 4G, you're going to have a better bandwidth than I've got on my Wi-Fi to stay the same. The rich people stay rich and screw everyone else. Got a work call. One of the hardest side shooters you've played. I think I might have played that actually. I probably will have found it hard. Got a Metal Slug Anthology on the Wii. You have to shake the controller to throw the grenades. Yes, I've played that. I hated it. I dislike the whole the Wii controller. That aspect of it, the motion thingy, really pissed me off. And yeah, Metal Slug on there pissed me off hugely. Hope you washed your hands fully before sticking them up that poor old guy. Do you know what's disturbing is I didn't wash them after taking them out of that old guy. Shouldn't you be 2 meters apart? Yeah. Hope this is all sorted for Play Expo Blackpool in October, but I'm not sure. Yeah, and hello, Sean Wolfenden. Also, greetings and welcome. It's nice to have you here while I'm live streaming. There will be questions if it is, because the bandwidth is so poor, but... And hello, Jake Ryan. Greetings and welcome. And how many weeks? 39. Yeah. I'm running out of water. Great stream. Thank you. The thing is, it's easy for me to sit and go blah and talk bollocks as long as you lot keep talking, because without being rude, I just bounce off you. Coming up with something original to say myself, I ain't got a clue, but it's like sit and talk to a bunch of people. It's easy and it's fun and I enjoy it. And if you enjoy it, it's cool. Do I know of Kim Justice? Also a good retro. Yeah, I know Kim Justice. I have met Kim. Kim gave me a hug at Play Expo at Blackpool last year. Is anyone doing that YouTube pub quiz tonight? I'm unaware of a pub quiz. Ashens has done some quiz things in the past. I found them quite interesting. I can't remember what he was using to do it, or it wasn't on YouTube, was it? Lurgy virus or not, still have to go to work every day, doing computery stuff in education. Doesn't sound like they will start quarantine over here, Belarus, but yeah, well, good luck is all I can say. It is, Jim. It's all about the live interaction. And thank you, Simone. I'm glad you're entertained. Running out of water. It's probably time to open a bit. Do you know what? I haven't got any beer. And that's a weird thing, isn't it? Here we are, days on end, where it wouldn't matter if I got a hangover. I haven't got to get and go to work or anything. I could get hammered, and I don't. And I tweeted about this morning. It's like the first time in ages where I could get plastered and I don't. Partly because I'm trying to be really, really, really careful with money and not spend on anything that isn't essential. And beer, while it's really nice and make life enjoyable, well, I enjoy it anyway, but it's not essential. And also alcohol reduces your immune system, and I'm doing everything I possibly can to like give my immune system the best chance I can. So no beer in my fridge. I've got lemonade in my fridge, but that's actually for if I get ill and have to and I was like, oh, I'll get some lemonade because it's just like quick, easy energy. Yep. Well, if anyone has issues with the live stream on Android, watch it via Chrome. Good advice there from Sean Wolfenden. Thank you, Sean. I don't know about that, though I don't stream on Android. I did IRC, but that was back in 2000. I was an op, or mod, if you like, but we called them ops, in #England on Undernet. It was a big channel for a time, and I was an op in there, but I fell foul of the channel owner. Well, no, I wouldn't really. I fell foul of the other ops, basically. No, I won't even go into the reasons, but yeah, I got pissed off with the place in the end. I didn't think it was being run right to have a channel called I've seen a few YouTubers doing joint live streams. Yeah, I know it's possible. I don't actually know how, and I did it once, and I felt awkward with it. I've said it before. I don't play well with others. I don't very often collaborate at all. I say it many, many times. I don't do people. It's too much to try and think about. There's a thing. I'm a really deep thinker, but I'm not actually a fast thinker. And while I can sit and bounce off of you lot, if I've got to think about how this other person is reacting as well, it slows my thinking down, and I'm thinking about what they're saying and how I'm responding to them and not how I'm responding to you. And it stresses me. So I don't do it. Have you seen the Poly Mega consoles that has multiple different? Think of it. Not really impressed, I don't think. I don't understand completely how it's working. I'm guessing it's using FPGA technology and just you stick in a different module to emulate a different system, or is it a different cartridge slot or something? I don't see that taking off. I wouldn't want one. I mean, they can give me one and I'll review it, but I wouldn't buy one. Yeah, I also don't know what you're obviously responding to something I said, but I don't remember what it was that I said. But I'm 51 and I sometimes feel every moment of it, and sometimes I don't. It kind of depends what I'm doing. I see you have a Doom t-shirt song. And if you don't watch Invader Zim, you won't know what that is, but Gur is fantastic. And the Doom song is horrendous. So the last Doom I played was Doom 3 on a PC, and that was quite a few years ago. And I'm going to get more water. Where were we? Let's hope we're not locked down long enough to brew our own beer. Yes, well, you just never. I don't know how long it takes to brew beer. It's affecting people of all ages, just more likely if you're older. Yeah, there's that. I don't think I'm into the really, really dangerous age group, but slightly elevated risk. Also, I've got high blood pressure, which is a slightly elevated risk thing. So, just like I said earlier, I'm not 100% sure I haven't had it already, but you know, not taking any chances and staying away from people as much as I possibly can. Being away from Joe is the hardest part of that. That just, it sucks. It really does. Terrible time for smokers, alcoholics, and gamblers. Yeah, I would think so. Doesn't matter, Sean. 12 year, yeah, a 12-year-old died of the virus. No one's safe. It's true. It's really, it's a crappy illness, and it is killing people. And no one's safe. It's the not knowing. People should just presume if they get it, they don't want it. It's that simple. You just don't want it. I was out in. Here we go. You're allowed an exercise walk. I haven't actually been out for a walk today. I went out. I walked to the supermarket yesterday because I needed food. There's a God. Here we go. Stockpiling. I bought a load of tinned food, and this is the thing. I think some people don't understand the point of stockpiling. All of this food waste we're hearing about. Lots of people went out, bought lots of food, fresh food. Stupid. And then, of course, it all went off and they threw it all away. Stupid, stupid, stupid. The point of stockpiling is you have enough food to survive if you've got to self-isolate for 2 weeks. You need a 2-week supply of food. You need it to be tinned so it's not going to go off. You stick it in your cupboard, or mine's in a bag over there, and you keep it. You don't eat it, you save it, because you need it if you've got to self-isolate. And then you continue to buy normal fresh food or whatever and eat that as normal. That's what you're meant to do if you've got a understanding of the situation. But people went and just like bought lots and lots and lots without thinking about what they were buying. I actually understand the urge to have enough toilet roll, but people got carried away. But yeah, people they just bought tons of everything. Idiots. Anyway, so I've got my stockpile of tin food sitting in a bag down there. If I have to self-isolate for 2 weeks, I'm all right. Milk will run out, bread will run out, but got loads of tin stuff and got a microwave over there and a sink, so sorted. But anyway, when I walked into town, took a camera with me because that time I put something on Instagram. It's like, well, if I'm going for a walk anyway, do photography. And there was this group of chavs just hanging around. They were probably like 18, 19, 20-ish, something like that. In a group at the top of the hill, and I gave them a wide berth, and like, I just thought, you twats. What they're thinking, assholes, because even if they're fine, if they get it, they're going to give it to their granny and the rest of their family and their friends and their girlfriends and their boyfriends and whatever, and people are going to die. I only collaborate with people I already know. I don't even collaborate with people I know. I still feel really awkward. Is that a RetroPie running in the background? No, it's not. There is a RetroPie right just there, but that's not what's running this. This is running on a PS1 Mini. Yeah, PlayStation Classic, that as well. David, is that an I or a one? Hi all, skiving off work to watch some live Bedway. Good for you. There's never been a better time for it. Scrolling back up. It's funny, whenever I scroll down a little bit, it scrolls a long way and then I lose my place. I'm getting a sore throat now. It's all the talking. I haven't talked this much in a long time. Gurr is the best character in all fiction. I agree. He is absolutely epic. VR Alex, you're on about Half-Life, Alex. I haven't got it, and I doubt that my VR thing is up to it. My laptop probably is. I've got a Oculus Rift DK2, which and I haven't got the controller thingamajigs if they ever had them for the DK2. So no, I haven't done it. I would like to, but haven't got the kit to play it. I've gone back to working in an open plan office, and I've been for a year now. I've totally forgotten the sheer number of different arseholes that populate them. It's made me 80 people. I once worked in an open plan office, and I hated it because it was full of arseholes. Open plan offices are not for me. I like to work alone, or I can cope with working with one person. I can cope. I mean, warehouses, you're part of a team, but you act largely as an individual within that team, and mostly you don't have to worry about what the other people are doing. I can deal with that. Simone says, last Doom I played was Doom 2. I had Doom and Doom 2 together on a PS1 disc. Was it Ultimate Doom? Don't remember. And I didn't really get on well with Doom 2. But I really liked the version of Doom that was on that disc, because there were levels where the soundtrack had the sound of a baby crying. It was really sinister. And I haven't come across it since. I think it's Final Doom I've got now. And that hasn't got it, or I haven't reached the level where you could hear that. But I thought it was fantastic, really sinister. Got to go, guys. Got work. If you're live 8 p.m. onwards, we'll jump back in. Thank you for joining us, Sean. Really appreciate it. Hope you top 100. I don't think I'm going to get near 100 viewers. Saying that, it's 47 now, which is pretty bloody gobsmacking. I would say, have fun. When is work ever fun? Maybe you've got a job that's fun. I don't know. But thank you. I remember Doom 3 when you could. But I liked it. I 78 something. And it looked good. Simone has decided to start growing potatoes. Director of the office, some manager woman who they were having like a video conference, and she'd got a filter on that she didn't know how to turn off, and it basically made her a potato. So for the hello 005 Amiga, greetings. If I don't get it, I'm asthmatic and got a letter last week, so I'm in the house till. Yeah, Wesley, stay in, don't go out. You don't want it. Do you think this will affect? So actually, handshaking really unnatural, and I don't like it. It was years. I mean, it's funny actually. I mean, I can be an awkward person at the best of times, and certainly when all the time I lived in Milton Keynes, I'd meet people, and I was never the one to offer my hand first. And to me, it was like that was something you did if you were going for an interview. It was a formal thing. It wasn't a fuck are you doing that? But it took a while for me to realize this is normal, because to me it ain't normal. It's formal, and I don't like formal. People were idiots. Yes, they were. That's referring to people in supermarkets. I think food banks are going to do well out. Food banks are not doing well out of this. No, people are not going to the food banks. People are. I mean, they might later if people don't eat all of the tinned stuff, but I think a lot of stupid people have bought fresh stuff and it's just going in the bin. But currently, food banks are really, really, really struggling because people aren't visiting them to donate food. So people who rely on food banks are really going to have a hard time. Roll, and I was like, I'm not buying a big multi-pack. I only need a 4-pack, and that'll last me a couple of weeks. But then I couldn't find 4-packs, so now I've got a big multi-pack sitting in the corner, and I felt like a twat buying it. but I didn't have a choice. How do I pronounce that? We'll say, hello, Steve. Been watching Jennyverse. Thank you. She's cool. Jenny. She's not using gameplay Jenny anymore, is she? She is very entertaining. I like Jenny. So I'm guessing you found her via here? Cool. People hanging around in groups are inconsiderate morons. They're just stupid. But a lot of people are. My home city is the home of Little Britain character Vicky Pollard. I can't even handle going into Asda anymore. It's like walking into Mordor. Asda across the road, last time I went there, was chock-a-block, and I just felt not safe. That was before they started having people like managing the queues and saying, you know, keep apart and only this many people in the store and whatnot. I haven't been in Asda since. I just go to Morrison's now, and there's enough room to stay safe distance. VR will end up cheaper and awesomer. Can't wait. Yeah. Shen Muso. I'm reading what you're saying without reading who it is. Shen Muso, greetings and welcome. I'm aware of your VR, and you are the first. I was with you the first time I ever tried VR. That was my first go on VR at Play Blackpool. It was the first Play Blackpool, wasn't it? When it was still Replay. Yeah. You popped my VR cherry. Hi, Steve. Is that you buffering on me? It will be me. My upload speed is pathetic. Sorry about that. Nothing I can do about it. MOSFET. Any relation to Bobber? Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen in ladies' attire. Okay, I'm not touching that one. It's a subject that I. Where are we at? It's scrolled, and now I've lost everything. Version head, wary music. Less buffering if you turn off the monitor, less data to send. Yeah, that's been suggested. I just kind of like having it on. And it's probably hell. I'm going to do it. That's two people who've suggested it now. It is a valid point. Yay, blue screen of blueness. It's not the blue screen of death. It's the blue screen that says my TV is alive. But yeah, we'll see if that helps. It kind of wasn't necessary for the stream. And if it is taking more bandwidth, then okay. Only JS. Hi, I remember you from your Metropolis Street Laser Gaming Street. That was quite a while, but not in my very earliest days. I've been on here a while. 2007 I started. Oh. I think I've lost my connection. Okay. I think I'm still here. It just dumped me. Where were we? Electrics just went in the kitchen. Great timing. Hello, Mick. Greetings and welcome. In Milton Keynes, of all places, where I used to live. But everything you do in your own home. And like tutorials are done over the internet. It used to be done like by TV programs and VHS videos. You have all of your learning materials sent to you, or you have to buy your own books and stuff like that. And you do your study yourself. And yeah, it's basically home learning, but you get a degree if you stick at it. Hello, Tracy. Nice to see you. Greetings and welcome. Those of you who don't know, and you won't know, Tracy Jones is one of my very, very oldest friends. And I mean that as in friends for the longest time, not oldest as in age. I have known Tracy since she was, well, no, it won't help you if I tell you how old she was. I was 15 when I met Tracy. She was a CBer when I was a CBer. My job did a temporary layoff until the virus had gone. Yeah, same. Well, I'm not laid off, I'm furloughed, but the full thing. And I thank all those of you who are contributing, because it's taking a little bit of pressure off. This is, could this be for a Q&A, or could it be rude? Please feel free to not answer. What, where? Now is not a good time to ask me Q&A stuff, because that needs to be in comments. Can't do that here. Not possible. I copy and paste everything and stuff, and I leave random game suggestion here, and 0% to do with current discussion. Rebel Galaxy, budget PS4, PC, blah blah. Like being Han Solo in a Firefly-like universe. I won't remember it. Memory, not work. And largely, I don't tend to recommending games to me is like, I can't think of a good analogy, but it doesn't work. I have this thing where if someone says to me, "You'll really like this," the voice in my head says, "No, I won't. And even if I would now, I'm not going to." It doesn't work. I'm too bloody stubborn in the brain box. People repay Blackpool. That was a few years ago. Yes, it was. And I went with you, Dave, I remember. And then I didn't go for a long while. And then when this year just gone, I went with Joe. So 4 times. And I don't know how to pronounce that. Lonely Planet Ed? Lonely Planeted. Don't know. What do you think is best platform for gaming experience in a few words? Xbox. And I couldn't really tell you why. They just feel a bit nasty to me. There's something about them. Don't like them. Best game. Don't know, honestly. I really like Skyrim. I like Spider-Man. I like Wipeout. I like the bit, but it's not as good as Gran Turismo's of old, really. I keep seeing movement on my other. It's probably an advert just changing or something. Have you seen the term COVIDiots? Yes, I have. And Seraphinate, hello. How long have you been watching? Not actually because I don't want to, but because I physically can't get that drunk anymore. Sadly, I haven't even got a copy of that video. The hard drive that it was on died. Somewhere on my Facebook, I've got that video split into 3 parts, and I can't even find it anymore. But I can't get drunk enough to be able to do that kind of thing. Real shame. Could this be a Q&A? Oh. When did you go from being a pretty big as a YouTuber to... I never thought I suppose actually there were times I thought I was a big fish in a small pond, like our little corner of YouTube, the retro gaming community in the UK. I thought I was quite significant for a time. I think I probably was for a time. Never had a massive number of subscribers, but for a while it wasn't. It's just that the pond was very small. Where now? Okay, Joe. Joe's going to work. Take care. I don't know if she can hear me saying that. I'll type a response just. Yeah. When did when did I stop, or when did I start thinking actually I'm not big? I I know when it was. I don't know date wise when it was. It was when a certain clique started to appear. It was when YouTube kind of changed its focus and started focusing and giving more and there is a clique who I bear no ill will to, a group who you will always see together, who they do their thing and they're popular, and some of them got very big very quickly, having done what they're doing for significantly less time than me. And it would be easy to resent that kind of success in that short space of time, but I don't. I think good luck to them. They've hit on something there, and it's working for them. Um, and I sort of looked at how well I was doing. I subscriber count had completely stagnated, literally wasn't growing. It's only started growing again since I've been uploading a video a day, and it started growing a bit. But that's when I realized, yeah, my relevance of YouTube, of the retro gaming community, I know who's in it mostly, certainly those who comment regularly, and 1,000 subscribers. It's been nearly 20,000 subscribers for a year and a half, and it's not going up much. And it's probably going to be another year before it hits 20,000. But that number is meaningless. A realistic number of like real active viewers to my channel, subscribers who watch on a regular basis, is probably 300. And that's the number. I think, you know, if someone says, what's your audience size? 300. That's not big. Most of the people who've subscribed have subscribed to watch the hardware reviews of like the Chinese tap and stuff, the emulation systems and things that I buy from time to time and do reviews of, like the RG350. They'll get a lot of views. People see them, think this is interesting. I'll subscribe, see more of this. And then it's a long while before they get more of that, because I'm just doing gameplays and waffle, and they're not interested in that, and they either unsubscribe or just don't watch. So the 20,000 is meaningless. God, my throat's sore after going on like that. Where are we? Okay, I've got to scroll. It keeps jumping. I think if I move the scroll. Steve, would you consider doing some up-to-date system reviews and maybe show games you like to play on them? Up-to-date system reviews? Like what? I no, I don't see the point. What could I possibly tell you about an up-to-date system like the PS4 that hasn't been done a billion times and better than I could do it? No, there's absolutely no point in me doing that. Well, now all this lockdown stuff finds me in a most uncomfortable position. I'm actually sick of the sight of something screens. Find it's taken to, what? Yeah, I don't. I like Infamous. No, I think I played that. Did I played something or other where I was climbing along on a wall or something? It was like a freebie with PlayStation Plus, and I played it for about half an hour and didn't like it and didn't play it again. Not sure if that's the right game or not. If not, then don't know. Don't agree entirely with the capitalism, but I see socialism a lot worse. If we had socialism, lazy people would take advantage and sit on their ass all day. How would socialism work? Well, there's socialism and then there's socialism. I believe in looking after people. I don't think massive handouts so people can live a comfortable life while doing absolutely nothing. Absolutely not. But if you've got a segment of society that's not able to work through ill health, disability, mental illness, whatever, you damn well look after them. And capitalism doesn't do that. Health care is about making people healthy, keeping them well, fixing them when they're sick, whatever. It's not about making money. And that's what capitalism does. And it's wrong. It's about having a safety net. People should work if they can work, but if they can't, you look after them. It's not, people confuse communism with socialism. Socialism is about looking after the people, not putting the money first. You put the people first. At least with capitalism, we have clever people at the top. No, you don't. You have fucking assholes at the top. The people at the top of massive companies frequently are not there because they're clever. They're there because they had money to put in the first place, and then they make more money off of the workforce by paying them a pittance. I'm not. That's enough of that. I'm not going any further with that. While ago, that being said, there are some people at the top of some companies who I think are actually really bloody cool. There might be complete basket cases, but the likes of Elon Musk, I mean, he's a bit wayward at times, but he's also a visionary. I have a lot of respect for visionaries, but I mean, he puts in the hours. He's not someone who's getting rich off of other people's labor. Well, he probably did, but he's doing something. A while ago, I said I mean up-to-date reviews. What? Up-to-date reviews of older systems. Using them, and really all you get from me is an overview. It's like, here's this, here's what I know about it, here's what it's like to use. An actual review takes research, and anyone can do that. I actually don't like the Wikipedia cut and paste type of review that is very, very common. And I'm too lazy to do anything better. So I don't do that kind of thing at all anymore. Hardware, and I could hold it up and say, I've got this. And that was cool. But, you know, it's been done to death. And I don't see a point in doing it. Do you remember the UK YouTuber A Murphy 245? Does he have a current channel? I remember the name. No idea if he's got a current channel. Couldn't tell you. Yeah, I'm still reading. I'm reading some politics and economics and stuff, but I'm leaving that alone now. Rather watch the smaller channels that feel, and that's the kind of channel that is popular and part of what YouTube is pushing are kind of making a TV show, but on YouTube, and there's a place for that. I want a bunch of mates in my room with me, sitting having a chat and a laugh. That's kind of what I want to do. Just play a game and talk shite and have a laugh and not be all polished and stuff. I think there's a thing. There are those who consider their viewers as their fans, and I don't. I'm really uncomfortable with some YouTubers that, you know, hi fans. No, God no, you're me mates. Even if Steve, you sexy man, missed your calm take on the world of YouTube. Keep playing games badly. Well, thank you, Peter. I will do that. I'm still waiting for my trickle down. Yeah. Simone says, my channel is tiny. I can't remember because I've looked, as you know, like motorcycle repair and other things. She gets her hands dirty and it's cool because I would say she knows what she's doing. If she doesn't know what she's doing, she's looked it up and found out and is giving it a go. It's cool. Hello, Simon. Welcome back. Yeah, I'm still going. I can talk the hind legs off a donkey if someone said something that I can respond to. Will you be uploading this live stream so we can fill the blanks? Yes, I will be. Well, I mean, I don't upload it. It just processes and does it itself. Yes, absolutely. I always do that when I stream it. You can watch later. Anyone who's watching later and not sure if they're watching it live or not, it's now 3:45, 15:44 p.m. GMT, whatever that is around the world, something 44. So if that's not the time while you're watching this, you're watching the recording. A while ago, you said you didn't like Horizon Check. I thought, how could that be? Then I played it. Didn't like the collecting aspect. I want to focus on racing. Exactly. Yeah. It doesn't appeal to me at all. Nothing about that game appeals to me. A part of it actually is the retro style game. I don't give a crap about retro style games. If I want to play a retro game, I'll play a retro game. Give me something old. I've got the hardware to play it on enough. And if they don't know how to set up an emulator, sure, but I ain't interested in it. A while ago you said you don't. Yeah, okay, rereading there. YouTube has kept its bandwidth words bandwidth, which is why it's so crap. That's not why it's crap here. It's crap here because my upload speed is appallingly shite. Mike Smith says hi. Hi, Mike Smith. God, my voice is going. Money from thin air. Okay, right here. Part of me wants to give a lesson in economics, but I'm not going to. Do you know if you can catch the virus if someone farts out loudly in the same room? No, you can't. You will not get the virus. Actually, well, here's that's an. Does it shed in other parts of the body? I don't think so. I would be surprised if it got into your gastrointestinal. I wouldn't test that. You start each of your vids saying this is not a review walkthrough, blah, blah, blah. Why did you decide not to review games, in your own opinion? To review a game, you've got to be able to have played it to a certain degree. You've got to be familiar with it. You've got to have spent time on it and know how to play it. I don't have the time to do that. My videos are reaction videos, basically, and I develop a bit of an opinion over the time that I'm playing it. But very often I haven't got a bloody clue what I'm doing. So it can't be, it's like my opinion shouldn't carry too much weight. Especially if I don't know how to play it. You know, I'm playing it so badly that I can't make much progress. No, proper reviews take time. I don't have the time for that. What's the topic, Steve? You popped up into my recommendation list, so I thought I would come in and see what the topic is. Whatever the hell anyone's talking about, and I will just kind of respond to what they say. It's general chit chat. Obviously, there's an amount of conversation about the virus that's going around that I'm not naming because YouTube jump all over that and don't like it. There has been an amount of politics. I'm trying to avoid that now. I mean, there is an amount of the government in this country are absolute clueless assholes who are screwing everything up, and which is why the virus is running rampant. But I'm sort of have had a rant on economics and capitalism versus socialism and whatnot. But it's like, I've done that now. I don't want to get back into it because people have different opinions. those who differ from me are wrong. But, you know, everyone's entitled to my opinion. No, I am trying to avoid it now. Wesley says, fair enough. I'm not sure what you're responding to, but cool. Is that an N64 on the table there? Do you know what? That is an N64 there. That's a SNES there. That's not a table. That's a big Amiga tower system. It's a 1200 with a Zorro 2 bus board and a 68060 processor and a shit ton of RAM and a CD writer and a SCSI board and a load of other stuff. A Buddha plus cat weasel. I think that's on there. Yeah. They're not numbers and they're not, what's the word I'm looking for? I can't. That poor donkey, I seen it was. Anyone who's wondering who this Seraph, do you remember, a few months ago, I did a video. Was it a video or was it a live stream? I don't remember, where I had a friend called Pebble, who I called Pebble. Her name is not Pebble. We just called her Pebble because I wasn't going to call her by a real name because privacy. That is seraphinated. Bullshit daylight saving time. Yes. I watch it. Yeah. I thought we were now GMT +1. BST. I don't know. Yes, you're right. We are in BST. Yep. Okay. I forgot about that. The clocks went forward, didn't we? What's written on the mug? That's back to front where I'm looking at it on my cam. I'm guessing it's the right way around where you are. If not, I hope you can read backwards. So agree with you on the retro start. Yeah. Does playing Elite on a BBC Model B count as retro enough for you? That's fairly retro. Yeah. That's very respectable. I can go back a little bit further. Wash your hands, people. I'm so glad I've got a sink in here. Gaming backlog that you're trying to catch up on. Having a bit of time off has helped me finally realize I can dent in mine at the best of times. No, I don't. I'm currently actually not. I'm not playing anything, and I don't know what to play. I'm sort of at a bit of a loss. Certainly with modern gaming, I have a backlog of games that I want to make videos of, or rather systems. I'm sitting here with the N64 and the SNES and the Dreamcast and a whole ton of consoles here that I can just plug in, and I want to do like a big, like Red Dead Redemption 2 that I didn't know where I was meant to be going. I didn't know what I was meant to be doing. I didn't know how to find out, and I turned it off again. It's like I'm deleting that off the drive because it's a humongous, great big file. Didn't like the game, but I don't want something that's going to be all right. I want something that's going to make me go wow, and nothing that's there does that. So I'm at that point feeling a little bit jaded with the whole thing. Your computer's lagging. Your computer is probably not lagging. It's probably just my bandwidth is crap. It's unbelievably crap. So there's always going to be stuttering and buffering and crap. It's not your computer. Apologies. You collect them. That's cool. Never thought you would need to use them to say, yeah. I tell you what, the number of times I've wanted to buy a gas mask, what everyone was saying. The appeal of your channel is that nobody else does it like you do. Is great. Thank you, Simone. Other people do it like I do. Some of it, maybe. Well, the gaming part, I was very, very heavily influenced in the way I do the gameplay by a guy, God almighty, and now I'm blanking, Collie UK. He used to come home on a Friday or Saturday night, pissed out of his face, and play Spectrum games badly. So you could see he didn't have the slogan, but that was what he was doing. It was just so you could see, is this game worth bunging in an emulator? And I thought, well, if he can do that as badly as that, I can do it as well, you know. And he had an audience, so I thought, well, that's how I wanted to do it. Not take it seriously, have a laugh, not really know what I was doing. It's fine, people would watch. So the talking to camera bit, God, I was terrible the first time I did it. I was really nervous, but now it's like you do it after. I think it's just not giving a crap. The ability to talk and not care. And yeah. Yo, Steve, do let me know if you need a food parcel of green jelly. Green jelly. What's wait, green jelly. Those who don't know, Rod Hull is thefuturewas8bit.com, who makes the best retro SD card type interfacey things for things like the Spectrum and it's not, yes, and the Commodore 64, and there's one for the Beeb, and he does good stuff. Check out, he's up having a mini one on you. Yeah. Your dream Amiga. It is. It's not the most powerful Amiga you can get, because then you're getting into Power PC based stuff. It's like there was one where you got an 060 and a G4, and I think it only went in the 4000. So I never watched it. I'm no idea what that was like, but this is a circuit board. Bought an Amiga 500 a few weeks ago. Just put a gecko in it. Loving it. Cool, Dave. I've never... gecko. Gotek. I'm aware of the Gotek things. They like fit on a load of different systems, don't they? Just emulated floppy drive thing. Very versatile from what I can tell. And Amigas are great. Did Amiga make any official T-shirts? Probably. You can certainly get really a fan of the Spectrum, but I like the logo. And Atari T-shirts. I've got certainly one Atari T-shirt, and I've had various Atari T-shirts over the years. I don't think I've ever had an Amiga T-shirt. And I think actually the reason for that is most of the T-shirts for the Amiga are based on like the Workbench 1.3 style logo and stuff. And I'm like, no, 3.1 or whatever is my thing. It's like the 1200 operating system. And yeah. I have an Amiga 500 and 1200 still in box, just for people to geek out over. And why not? Any plans for a Hidden Gems video series? No. No, that would take planning, and I don't do planning. Hi, Steve. What the hell are you up to lately? You're looking at it. Really? Stuck in this room, locked down, playing video games whilst making videos of them and talking crap. And that's it. That's my life. And talking bollocks on Twitter and putting photos onto Instagram. This is my life. My ZX81 is still working, but so slow it's sad to watch these days. Well, they were never fast, but the fact that they're still working is cool. I've got two and they both work, and well, they're meant to be slow. That was the whole thing. Ever played Bruce Lee on the Atari 800 XL? I haven't got. I've got a 600 XL. I played Bruce Lee on something, and I'm not actually sure what I played it on. I can't remember. I've got a video of it. I might have played it on an Atari. Do a search in my YouTube video thingamajig. There is a search tool. It will bring up, search Bruce Lee and it'll show you. Restored my Atari 800 XL over a year now. Cool. RAM had failed. Yeah. I mean, a lot of my hardware I haven't turned on in a long while. And I know things can fail, especially capacitors, even if they've never been used, or maybe even because they've not been used. So while I say all of my stuff works, there may be stuff that's in here that now does not work. But end of stream? No, it's not the end of the stream. It's just crappy bandwidth. And that's, I don't know how to pronounce that. RTR, is that writer? Right, we'll say writer girl 78. Greetings and welcome. The first conversation I had with you, yeah, I think I took something you said wrong way back when, but sorted that out since then. I have collected this is Crashers 142. I've collected computers and game systems since 1979 and kept all the boxes, stickers, and instruction books. Well, that's really cool. I haven't collected them since then. The first thing I've got that I've kept from since I bought it is my Atari 600 XL. Yeah. And the Electron. The Electron I've got, actually bits of it are from the original one that I bought back then, and bits of it aren't. Parts of it failed, and I kind of took various different ones apart and put them together, and so it's a bitser. So it's got bits of my original one. I don't remember what was original and what's not. If you don't know what to play, may I suggest AIDS Odyssey is a great blast. No, I don't like that game. This is a thing you will find out with me. Generally, I don't take recommendations or suggestions for games. 9 times out of 10, people's taste is completely different from mine anyway. But also, I do have this thing where if someone says, oh, you'll like this game, I just automatically don't. But I don't like that game anyway. I played it back in the day and I don't like it. Too difficult. Too full have gone by now, but I spent a lot of my isolation playing Dishonored here. I'm not a fan of the 360 as a system, but it has got some good games on it that deserve playing, and I Test Drive Unlimited on there I really like. Steve, have you wasted any time with the god-awful clone system? I have tried quite a few, like just plug and play NES things. I've done videos of them and they suck, but they come back. There's just a NES on a chip, and honestly, it's crap. And I've got a Intellivision flashback that is a bit more interesting, and I don't know if it's better done, but it's still crap. Bandwidth of YouTube is pretty broad. Simon, I don't think the problem with the bandwidth, you see, if I'm buffering and stuttering and all that lot, it's not YouTube, it's me. I have really shitty Wi-Fi here. Well, shitty broadband to this house. I intend to open a gaming museum sometime in the future. How realistic that is, waits to be seen. Yeah, people have sometimes suggested to me that I do that, but I don't want people touching my stuff. And people will want to. It's like if you just put them in a glass case and say, here, look at this, it's cool. People in this town, people are just going to be like, eh. I do remember reading a few years ago, some people set up a retro arcade. Like, I know Arcade Club is apparently doing quite well, and I guess they must have, I don't know, appealed to the right people or something. But it was just like a little arcade somewhere in their town, classic hardware, and they opened it up, and all the locals came in and trashed it. No sound. I'm sorry, I can't help that. I'm hoping it's working now. Seeing the number of people still watching, maybe not. What's your favorite retro sci-fi program? Love Blake 7 here. Yeah, probably Blake 7 actually. I do like that. I've got a load of Blake 7, like video files that actually they were on YouTube, so I downloaded them quickly while they were still there. How about an outtake video? From what? Everything that I do either gets uploaded or deleted. There are no outtakes. You will sometimes get blooper reels actually as Easter eggs at the end of a video. Not many people notice them. It's only really, really diehard viewers who they watch the whole video, they watch Isambard, they sit through the thank you text bit for Patreon supporters. And it's surprising how many people haven't noticed that. It's only occasionally, but they're out there. First, thank you, but I'm not inclined to do that. I have quite a lot of my quite a big collection. Do you know if it's expensive to get consoles repaired? Both power switches are kaput on my Mega Drive and N64. Honestly, I don't know. I've never got round to having a system repaired, but I know there are YouTubers who do it, as well as other like people who do it for a business. I don't know how much it costs, honestly. It's not something I've ever done or had done. Went to the Bury Arcade Club once, twice, and a newer one in Leeds as well. I have heard very, very good things about Arcade Club. One of these days I will go, and I'm sure I'll love it. I'm just not big on driving that kind of distance. Have you brought those back with all the what? Yes, all the Patreon and like and subscribe crap people do these days. I just click off at the last minute of videos. Yeah, a lot of people do that. I know most people, as soon as Isambard crops up, or as soon as I say thank you for watching, bam, gone. And that's fine. I put the little Easter eggs in there, the blooper reels, just as a treat, because I know some people will notice. It doesn't bother me if they don't get seen. It's usually if I put one in, one person will comment, and it's like, that's it. It was worth it. I don't know. I suppose it's the kind of stuff, Candy Crush type things, that I think have no place in gaming, where they draw you in. They're addictive and compelling if you like that kind of game, and then you reach a point where you just can't progress unless you spend money. You've got to buy extra lives or buy something to get through a level, and you can grind and grind and grind and grind, and you'll never get through it. You've got to spend money, pay to win, basically. So yeah, that kind of thing, despicable, hate it, really loathsome, god awful stuff. That if I was king of the world, I would ban it. Mark Fixes Stuff is a good channel. He repairs stuff. Yes, very good point. Do people send him stuff and he fixes it? I don't know, but he is good. Good recommendation there. Sega CD Universe. Hi, Steve. Hi, greetings and welcome. Do you think retro games and channels are getting more and more popular? Yes. Retro games most definitely are pretty much mainstream now, I think. Or if they're not far from it. Channels, yes. Because there are so many. I can't remember how I did this now. There we go. I don't know if channels are getting more popular, maybe, but I think it's really, really hard to make an impression on YouTube now if you're doing retro gaming. You either need to be part of a clique, or you've got to have something that makes you stand out, and that ain't easy. Lilac Floyd, greetings and welcome. How are you getting on with Elite Dangerous? I've given up. I loaded it up last night for the first time in a while, and I couldn't remember how to do it. And then when I finally remembered how to do it, I found I'd got a hold full of illegal stolen goods, and I didn't know where to offload it. They wouldn't take it at the station I was at, and I couldn't even remember how to get to another one, and I couldn't be bothered to find out. I just wasn't feeling it. So kind of done with it. I haven't uninstalled it, but I might, because it's taking up space, and I'm probably not going to play it again. I'm more likely to play original Elite on my Electron or my Beeb. People begging for likes and subs and all that, PN, etc. I know what you mean. A lot of people do that because YouTube tells them to. It is, according to YouTube, a fact. I don't know if it is a fact, but YouTube say it is, that a lot of viewers won't actually think about subscribing or clicking like or clicking the bell thing. This is what YouTube says. And if you don't tell them to do it or suggest that they do it, they won't do it. And I mean, there are two trains of thought. If you're a new channel, absolutely don't do it right at the start of your video, because straight away people will leave without even finding out what your main content is like, because it does piss people off. You can do that once you're established and people know what you're producing. I don't, because it's annoying, and I don't want to annoy you lot, because, you know, if you lot don't watch, no one's going to. If I'm going to have something annoying on one of my videos, I'll let someone else do it. I'll let an asshole do it, because Isambard's an asshole. Yeah. Steve, I'm working on a new video. I don't think I've ever seen that done. I've definitely watched that when it's done. When it comes to YouTube, you're at the mercy of the algorithms. That is absolutely true. Yeah. And you just never know what their algorithm's going to like and what it's not. The best you can do is do your own thing and hope for the best, and do it often. I would say do it the best you can, but hell, I don't. Only do it the worst I can. It still seems to be working. Monkey Spaz 5000, greetings and welcome. And Jason Arnott, he's here as well. How lovely to find you. Yeah, I've been sitting here blathering away for 2.5 hours now, and people are still watching. You lot are mental. Castada, Erwin, hello, greetings, welcome. Richard Heath is chopping onions while watching. This looks like he's watching a terribly sad video. You are watching a terribly sad video. It is really sad. The mistake is getting emotionally attached to the onions. Yeah, Erwin, totally. Because the chances of getting really successful and making, say, if you're worried about the money at all, the chances of making enough money to live on doing this are so, I don't know if you've got a better chance of winning the lottery. Probably not, but it's probably not much different. You're not going to make a living on here. So you're probably not going to get famous on here. The chances of getting even a little bit famous are slim. There are, I am a tiny, I'm a big fish in a very, very tiny pond, as I was saying earlier, and I'm massively insignificant compared to the big names on here and the people who make a living out of it. And there were a hell of a lot of people, like my peers, who started at the same time as me or around the same time as me. How many are left? I can count them on one hand. There are a lot of people who've made it big since then. Video, when all I want to do is have fun, just play a game badly and talk bollocks. Bit. Okay, it seems to have reconnected me. Lord Tracks, it's Steve Benway. Steve, your videos are amazing. You're absolutely hilarious. Please keep being awesome. Thank you. I will try. It's weird, actually. This seems to comments appear, and it's like they're coming out of sequence. Do your own. I make a living in computer security. I'm happy with that. That does sound like a cool job, you know, Simon. I know some people who, no, I know someone who knows some people who do that. Yeah. Not bloody writing it. Hi, Steve. Hi, chat. Hope you're all good. Hi, Kevin. I am good. I'm going to lose my voice because I've been blathering on for quite a while now. I'm getting a really sore throat. Dialect Floyd says 20k subs hopefully soon. I'm not counting on it being anytime soon. My sub count has stagnated and been stagnant for oh god, a couple of years. If I hit 20,000 by the end of this year, I will be pleased. And I won't be surprised if I don't. Well, and you do that so well, play badly and talk bollocks. Talking bollocks is my speciality. I remember being amazed at your collection years ago. Now I have 100 or so systems, so thanks. Yeah, I hope you got plenty of space, because they do take up a lot. My legs are going to sleep and I'm getting a numb ass. Ah, we love it. Carry on rambling. Cool. I will do that. Now you know someone in the industry, all that hard graft of education was worth it. Yes, education is worth it. You finally got you got your first house. Excellent. That's something I never ever managed to do. I've always been a renter. Much respect to anyone who can afford to buy a house and do it off their own hard work. Exposure is always good. Oh. I'm going to stretch my legs for a second. You can stare at my turned off TV while I sort of pace from side to side. I can't actually see the screen. I'll come back now. That was... Oh, I was going to start getting cramp. Not easy building up that first deposit. No, I'll bet it's not. And deposits have to be pretty bloody huge these days, don't they? It's not like it used to be. Not that I've ever really looked into it, but I know it's harder. I hear voices. Someone has guests. We had an email from the housing people when lockdown was instigated saying no guests. And I mean, it's a logical thing. There shouldn't be guests, but there are definitely people here who shouldn't be. Yeah, I rent. I can't even afford to rent like a flat, much less a house. I'm renting a room. It's cheap, and to be fair, I like it. It's like I'm living in a man cave. It is. It's a geek's dream of a room. It would be nice if there was a bit more room, but when we had the floods here. Okay, freaky deaky do. Thank you for joining us. Take care. When we had the floods here, what the hell was I saying? Yes, I spoke to one of the women who works for the letting agent, and she was saying, they would release us from our contract and we could move out and not be penalized. And I said, no, I want to stay. I don't care. There's no gas, no electricity, no nothing. I do not want to move because I've got too much stuff. It would take me too long. It took me an age to get it in here. It would take me an age to get out. And she thought I was exaggerating. And then about a month ago, she came here to do a room check, because they do that every once a year or once every 6 months. They'll come and just see that we're not trashing the place. And it was the first time she'd been in my room, and she just looked and said, yeah, I thought you were like talking nonsense, but I see what you mean. She seemed quite, I don't know if she was impressed or horrified, but no guests, simple rules. Can't understand how people have problems. I'll tell you how they have problems. It's not that they don't understand, it's that they don't care. They think the rules don't apply to them. There are a lot of rules in this house, and very, very few people respect them. Like clean up your own mess, and don't smoke in your room, and don't make lots of noise after a certain, like, officially it's 11 o'clock. Lots of stuff. No one gives a crap. But it's how many people? 14. When the place is full, there's a couple of empty rooms at the moment. Moment? God almighty. Moment. That's moment and room comes out movement. Yeah, you're not meant to like have your boyfriend or girlfriend move in with you without informing them, because you have to pay more or whatever if you've got more people. There are definitely some who've had their girlfriends move in. My second bedroom is the workshop and gaming PC area. Well, yes, I can't see a better use for a second bedroom than that, unless unless you live with family or whatever. Spare bedrooms are meant to be gaming rooms, in my opinion. In fact, yeah, because I live right near the river, I have an app. No, I don't. It's a thing I follow on Twitter. That every few hours it shows you the level of the water that's being measured in Worksop, and I keep an eye on it, because there's always that unease when it rains. Are we going to get flooded again? Because it made life very difficult for quite a while. How big is the place? It's a big house. It's two houses knocked into one. It's like it's a terrace house. And it's also extended out the back. So yeah, it's a big place. It's kind of like a really crappy old hotel. It's like a crappy self-catering hotel. For a while, it was a shelter for battered wives, but well, it might not have been wives. There might have been girls. It was a women's shelter, but the government cut all the funding, and it had to shut down. And it was bought out by a private landlord who rented it out as rooms. And well, I could get back into politics there. It's a bloody shame, because there was a need for it as a shelter. As it is now, most of the people who live in it work in the local sandwich factory. I mean, it's a thing in this place. No one who lives in this house is here because they're succeeding at life, being homeless, really. So there's a need for the women's shelter. There's a need for places like this. Hello, Glenn. Hi, Steve. How long do you think the lockdown is going to last? I bet near September. Interested in your view. Well, yeah, I was. It has to be a long while, but really, until they get a vaccine, lockdown is just a holding strategy. Because as soon as they lift lockdown, the virus will just spread again, and it will get out of control again. It's still out of control now, even with lockdown. It could be a long while. It really depends on when either they come up with a vaccine, or they accept that a shit ton of people are going to die. Hundreds of thousands, millions are going to die. Yeah, so I don't know how long. Is there not a bigger room in the house you could pinch? Sounds a bit like halls at uni. It's a lot like that, and it's especially like that when we get young people moving in. Generally, they haven't been to uni, but they treat it that way. They think it's a party house, and they annoy the shit out of all the other housemates, who then complain, and that person then gets a bollocking from the letting agent, and they ignore it, and they get another bollocking, and they ignore it, and then they get thrown out. That's happened. We've had some real assholes living here, and psychopaths. Oh God. Yeah, there've been some really quite scary, crazy people living in this. Well, no, one was really crazy, scary. I, can't use names or anything, but the room that way, and there's a guy. The guy in there is a Spanish guy who doesn't speak a whole lot of English, who's generally quite agreeable. There's a young lad in there now, and before him was this woman who was just absolutely terrifyingly mental. I can't even tell you. They got rid of her quite sharpish. Good job too. I'm glad you found the girlfriend. Breaking up with your wife. I'm still looking for. After my last relationship went crap. Yeah, you know, it was clear what kind of person I was, and I knew that's going to put off loads of people. But I also knew that if the right kind of person saw it, they would be the right kind of person. I didn't want to be wasting time with anyone who wasn't the right kind of person. And Jo is a geek and a gamer, and she saw it and sent a message saying, I think we have a bit in common here. And well, the rest is history. So I consider myself really lucky because I didn't think I was going to meet anyone on there. And I don't find it easy to meet people at the best of times. Thought you were in. I'm terrified for the well-being of my family. Yeah, currently it's a scary time. If it goes for months, we're completely buggered. The government surely can't afford 80% salaries for so many furloughed workers for that long. Something immense will have to change. Here is the thing. You will hear the government kept on saying there is no magic money tree. It was a piece of propaganda used to attack the Labour Party and their spending plans. All the government have to do is get their spreadsheet where they have how much money they have in their coffers and just add some more zeros and keep adding some more zeros. It's bullshit. The whole they need taxes coming in to be able to spend money. That's not how it works. Taxes are there as add zeros. They can add zeros and it won't cause a problem at all. Where lockdown will cause a problem is with production. They can carry on indefinitely, add zeros to their little spreadsheet and give people free money. And the whole thing about no magic money tree, it is a lie. I had a flatmate puppet in the whole main room. That sounds like a charming flatmate. I had enough to living next door at my old place. She was scary too. Yeah, I've lived next to some pretty scary people. Back in Milton Keynes, there were some pretty scary people. Steve Powell says, hi guys. Hi, Steve Powell. Greetings and welcome. Will you ever revive your political comedy channel, Steve? Maybe Isambard could have something to say about the stuff going on. You see, that's the thing. I stopped my Isambard channel. In charge at the moment. I could not. He's satirical. It's like the idea with him was he'd take the you can satirize people who are a little bit like not sure about that, but you can't satirize a moron. It just doesn't work. You can't. Every time he opens his mouth, I can't compete with that. I can't make a YouTube channel out of that because they beat me at my own game. And they're doing it for real. And people are taking them seriously. Yeah. We'll head into a bad recession after this thing is over. Yes, we most definitely will. Was it like Spitting Image? Yeah. Simone, I've got a channel. If you look up Isambard Montague. If you'd like do a YouTube search for Isambard Montague, you'll find him. I don't know if you saw earlier where I stuck a puppet in front of the camera, and he is the guy at the end of my videos. Is him. Like spitting image, not exactly. Okay. I've said everything I'm going to say on economics, so I won't follow all of that. I had a nutter living above me once. He locked himself out, so he decided to punch a hole through his door to get back in. It was terrifying to hear at 3 a.m. Yeah. I feel so. I've got a friend in this house. I mean, of all the people who live in, there are people who have locked themselves out, or they have friends come and knock at the door or whatever. Or there was a point where the lock on the door was broken. You couldn't get in from the outside. The door could only be opened from the inside. And people would come and bang on her window to let them in. And I felt so sorry for her. I live on the first floor. I pity anyone who lives on the ground floor, particularly at the front of this house. And that was a little scary. Yeah, I can imagine that would be scary. Hang at the, was it at the top of his? It was more at the bottom of his stairs, made out of like electrical cable. And we just thought he's being dramatic or twatting about or something. And then we didn't see him for a while. And then he kind of reappeared. I was going to London with him on the train. We were going to a concert, and he'd got all these marks around his neck, like it was all red. And I was like, what the hell have you done to your neck? And he's like, oh, nothing. It was just an accident at work. And it wasn't until later I put two and two together and realized what he'd done. Obviously hadn't succeeded and had managed to get himself down somehow. We kept a very close eye on him after that. He was not in a good place. You subscribe to Isambard, you mean? There's not going to be any new stuff on there, but it's worth going through his back catalogue of videos if you have a certain kind of sense of humor. It is pretty out there, potentially offensive, but I get the feeling you're a down-to-earth kind of person. I don't think you'll be offended by that. I think he's good. He never got a lot of attention. I don't think he has an acquired taste. If you're worried about the safety, there is nothing. Thank you for that, first of all. I know what kind of advice that they would give. They would. The letting agency have sent out the email for everyone, telling them all the things that they should do to keep everyone safe. But it is, like I said, most of the people in this place don't give a shit. They either don't take it seriously or they don't care. They're not. No one's going to get thrown out because the landlord's going to want money. I just accept the fact that I need to stay in this room as much as I possibly can and not go into the communal areas and not be talking to people and all of that lot. I just accept that they're twats. And I do what I can. I wash my hands when I go to the, if I touch anything, and all I'm touching is door handles and the handle to flush the toilet. Actually, it's a button, and like the tap. As soon as I get back in here, I wash my hands and sanitize my hands if I leave the building. I should challenge people to offend me is pretty much impossible. I actually realized I finally took the advice: don't feed the trolls, don't engage with them at all, delete the comment, block, move on. And probably saying that now is like red flag to a bull, though they can't see the red at all. It's the movement they respond to. But anyway, yeah, it's worked, and I don't get many people annoy me on here these days. Commodore 64 color palette is 64 shades of brown. I don't like the Commodore 64's color palette. I don't like it at all. That being said, I don't like the color palette on the C16 either. It's like a ton of pastel colors and stuff. I don't want a pastel colored. It's fine if you're playing send fake account and all that. My block list was a mile long for a long time. I was waving the ban hammer, and that was last night. Yeah, but it doesn't happen very often. The house isn't overcrowded. Yeah, I just accept the place for what it is. Um, it's cheap. It's not perfect. They're not going to be able to get people who will respect the rules in this town at this price range. Um, it is better than it has been in terms of the kind of people who are in it. And honestly, you can't live in an HMO and expect that it's going to be 100% safe under the current circumstances. I'm just kind of like, I don't want to stir up that kind of a hornet's nest, honestly. But I do thank you for the advice, because there may be people in a similar position who might want to do something like that. Bear with me again, please. I have to pee again. I'm drinking a lot because my throat is sore, but I have a bladder the size of a peanut. Gotta do everything you can to help your immune system. Interval mute quick, let's all hide. How many consoles are in view? That's a good question. How many are in view when I'm not sitting here? I don't know how the chair was. You got a PS2 and a PS4. There's a Wii. There's a Dreamcast with a PS1 classic controller. There's a PC Engine. There's a that's a SNES cartridge that's sitting on top of some PS3 discs. SNES, there's an N64 just here, and it's sitting on top of an Amiga. There's GameCube controllers. I think that's about it. Yeah. That's been a thing a bit, hasn't it, recently? It was a woman who took her laptop into a bathroom with her and went to the toilet, and everyone's watching. They're all made of Blur. Yes, Blur consoles. Shame you don't have any whiskey. It is a shame. How many tenants are there? Any complaints you made would be anonymous, landlord or agent. Got like loads of paperwork and stuff down in the hallway. It's all above board and official. When the place is absolutely full, there are 14. Well, there are still have to. Yeah, it's got fire doors, fire detectors. It is all properly done. It's just the people who live in it are arseholes. Well, no, they're not arseholes. They just don't care. I have Baileys. You see, I like the taste of Baileys, but I wouldn't dream of trying to get drunk on it. I'd be sick way before I managed to get drunk. Used to have a gaming room, but baby came along, and that was RIP gaming room. Well, that's understandable, but you got to have priorities, haven't you? I used to have actually, I had 2 gaming rooms at one point, which was great, but times change. Bye, Stephen. Other live feed folks. Stay safe, everyone. Take care, Richard. Thank you for joining us. Austin, greetings and welcome. Things are good. Things are well and truly locked down. So it's like I couldn't be bothered to make a video today. I thought I'd just sit here and talk bollocks and see if anyone's bored enough to come and watch. And yeah, quite a few of you. Welcome back, Simone. So that was that. Well, yeah, there's similar. I'm not divorced yet, but that's how I come to be here. But you know. Thanks, Dave. No, I do appreciate the advice. It's I'm somewhere on your own, but since I can't afford to do that, the place itself, they follow the regulations, the letting agent and the landlord and all of that lot. They do what they've got to do. The tenants, you know, I think some of them try, but they don't try very hard. Mainly, I think, because they just don't understand. But what are you going to do? They're not going to be thrown out. I wouldn't want them thrown out. So it's just like I do the best I can to keep safe. And I'm not going to worry about it, because what would be the point? I can't, if my audio continues, when it says my connection is unstable, do I go quiet and does it go black and buffer? Or are there some people who can still hear me talking? No idea. God, I have been doing this for 3 hours and 12 minutes and 23 seconds. Because I can count. The bare minimum. What's that? Yeah. Buffers and then lags out. Yep. Yeah. So it's like, I know. I can deal with it. I can cope. I'm keeping safe. Your first computer was a Game Boy. What? Wait, you asked that already. Or has it moved the going on here? I think I'm having the equivalent of net split as it happened on IRC. It seems to move comments in the live chat around, because that one, your first computer was a Game Boy, just reappeared like. But I see. My first computer wasn't a Game Boy. My first computer was a ZX81, and I did have an Atari VCS around the same time. My first gaming device was a handheld. I had a Game and Watch. It was toss-up ball thing. Yeah, it was a Nintendo ball, but it was branded Timeout toss-up. Analog X64. Greetings from Canada. Hope everyone is safe. Thank you. As long as everyone is staying in while they're sitting here and watching, listening to me go blah, I'm hoping they're safe. Paid your date. I don't know what it's all right, Marvin. No need to apologize. I know it's particularly with the quality of the stream. It's easy to miss stuff. Anyone whose day is made. Cool. I don't know what that says about you, but I'm very glad to have you here. Vectrex. Oh yes, I have a Vectrex. I love it. I've got a multi-cart for it, so I've got like all the games and then some out of sync. And people holding conversations with someone, it's like two completely different time frames. And some people were in sync with each other, and some people were in sync with other people, and the two separate groups were holding separate conversations or trying to talk to each other across this weird 2, 3, or even 10-minute time divide. And to anyone just sitting and watching it, it looked absolutely dim. Yeah, that was weird stuff. And that's how I know I don't have the virus, even though my voice is completely going. But sneezing is not. Oh. I'm probably going to have to stop soon because my voice is going badly. I thought that was at a different angle earlier, but maybe not. Have you ever chocolate Bailey's drink? If you had, what do you like it? I've had Bailey's. I don't know that I've had a chocolate Bailey's. I'm not. I like normal standard Bailey's. Was it Irish cream or whatever? But I can't drink a lot of it because it's too sickly. But never a chocolate one, no. And that that doesn't appeal to me. The sound of it. Back forward punch. Hi, Steve. Welcome. I've always thought that was a cool name because that's like Street Fighter. I do like Street Fighter. I used to know. I probably knew that. Is that? I'm guessing from your little icon that that's a guile move. I knew his moves once upon a time. Bailey's and Tia Maria is life changing. Is that in like you have them both together? I don't actually know what Tia Maria tastes like. It's funny, for all that I work in a pub, I showed that I got one. This here, Dreamcast, has got a GDMU in it. Are they worth it? Yes, they are absolutely worth it. Wonderful piece of kit, dirt cheap, and it's just like I can't think that a problem, but it is a piece of advice that has been given to me on more than one occasion. Okay, Simone, take care. Thanks for joining us. Coffee liqueur mixed with Bailey's. Creamy coffee, alcohol with a kick. Yeah, you see, I like coffee. and I like alcohol, but I don't know if I'd like them both. And it's advisable to put a different power, the appropriate power supply in. I haven't, and it hasn't blown up, but I'm not using it a lot. Uh, but I would recommend checking out ETA Prime for. I watch a lot of his stuff. He does really good tutorials and reviews and stuff like that. Adam Worth asks, Steve, why do people give thumbs down on live streams? I can think of two reasons. One is because the quality of the video stream is appalling because my bandwidth is so rubbish. And the other is, well, they're where they've behaved a certain way or expected me to behave a certain way. And I've been like, on your bike, mate. And they come and go and they sometimes come back and try and cause a nuisance. And I'm just like, pfft. But it happens. I don't worry about it. I can't actually I can't see the thumbs up or down or anything. I can see I've got 41 thumbs up. I don't know how many thumbs down there are. I'm not worried. It all helps as far as the algorithm is concerned. The YouTube algorithm just says, "Hey, interaction. This is good." Um, but in terms of if someone doesn't like what I do, I don't care. It doesn't matter. And Strictly Sega, good day. I'm not going to try an Aussie accent. I'm guessing that's what that is. No, I'm trying. I don't have like one of those donate button thingamajig. What's it's everywhere. Um, hotmail.com. And thank you. That's I've not ever actually had anyone ask me that in a live thing before, and it's like I don't know how to react to that. Yeah, thank you. It's just attached to my email address. I don't have one of those button things, but I know you can send just using an email address, if I understand it correct. Yes, I did that just yesterday, actually. Patreon is a weird thing. It's it's a brilliant thing and it's saving my bacon at the moment. And I understand why some people are wary of it as well. It's why when I very first implemented it and I stand by it, it's like I never ever ask anyone subscribe or donate to my Patreon, give me money. Never ever ask. It's there because there are some people who were like, have you got it? I would like patrons. They don't get any bonus, anything except a little bit of interaction on the Patreon site where I give them, like if I've used Patreon money to buy a device to review, they get advance notice of what I've bought, I figure, because it's their money that's paying for it. But currently it's just paying the rent. Can I put it in? Okay. Yep, I can do that. This is not an invitation to spam me, people. Probably going to get spammed to hell because there will be bots. I don't know if I can. Are there DMs on this thing? I don't know. Hold on. No, they don't appear to be. I'll say it in the stream again, and maybe it'll come through. benway68@hotmail.com. But if that don't don't worry about it if it doesn't. Do it on Facebook. I could. Cool, brilliant. Thank you. What console do you like best, Jaguar or 3DO? That's a really difficult one. I mean, the yeah, no. There was a reason I wasn't saying it, Austin. If you put it in, it'll be the same as me putting it in. Uh, Jaguar or 3DO. I mean, they came out around the same time, and while the 3DO is definitely more capable, neither of them really had many games that were great. So it's like Jaguar. Don't worry, Austin. Um, Jaguar, you got Alien versus Predator and Tempest 2000, and 3DO you got Need for Speed and Road Rash. So I guess it comes down to which you prefer. Which do I prefer? I'm really torn because they're both like under answer that. If I was told you can only ever play games for one of these again, you can only have Tempest 2000 and Alien versus Predator, or actually no, that's actually answered it for me because I'm not that big of a fan of Alien versus Predator. While I like Tempest 2000, I think I would rather be able to play Road Rash and Need for Speed on the 3DO. Granted, Road Rash on the 3DO is not that different from Road Rash on the PS1, but Need for Speed is unique. That version of Need for Speed, there's nothing else. It's not on any other system in that form. So yeah, I would go for the 3DO. Oh, they're arguing next door. I don't know if you can hear it banging and shouting. Uh, Back forward punch. Okie dokie. Take care and thanks for joining us. God, can you hear this? One MSX to go. Hello. Greetings and welcome. Starblade on the 3DO is quite good. You're right, it is good, yeah. I've played a few games on the 3DO, and there are some quite competent games on there. I always think of like Road Rash and Need for Speed. They're the first ones that come to mind, but there are some other good ones. I seem to remember playing some kind of tank game that was quite fun. And there's another space game. There is it's a spaceship game anyway, but you're down on the surface of a planet shooting stuff. Can't remember what it's called. That's quite a good game. Well, I, what are my thoughts on the PS5? I want one. It's about I want one, but I want it for VR, whatever the next PSVR thing will look like on there. Kind of anywhere near remotely okay. I imagine it will be significantly more capable, and I want some of that. Um, it's really a question of what's it going to cost. I imagine I won't be able to afford to buy one for at least the first couple of years. It's just not wasn't a great leap from the PS3. I mean, you can tell the difference, but it's not massive. Yeah, I don't know. I thought they were going to be silly money, and everyone has said they were going to be silly money. But then um, Review Tech USA, Rich was saying last night, was it last night or this morning? He said that another seller not into what he does. I've known Rich for a very long time. He was subscribed to my channel before he was even doing Review Tech USA. He was subscribed to me when he was RLM Audio. So we go back a long way. And I watch his stuff and I like what he does. And sometimes he's right and sometimes he's wrong. But I do find he gets information from wherever he gets it. And it's interesting to hear what people are saying. And this one source is saying 400 US dollars, which is not astronomical. I mean, if generally whatever technology gets sold for in America, they just convert the dollar number to pounds, so we get screwed, though not so much lately with the exchange rate. But hang on, they're basically PC hardware. They are pretty much. It's really just like they sort of have custom hardware. It's like PC hardware, but their own particular brand of it, I guess. Well, not brand, but configuration or something or other. But give me a console over a PC for gaming every time. I mean, I've got this gaming laptop, but I don't use it for gaming. When we're going to have backward compatibility all the way from the PS4 back to the PS1, but now they've said, no, that ain't going to happen, which is a bloody shame. I wish they would. And I don't honestly believe that they're not capable when you've got like PS3 emulation, very, very competent on PCs, and these new consoles are meant to be like powerhouses. There is no way they're not technically capable. So if they're not going to do it, they're just being lazy. Back forward punch. Thank you. Thank you. Just, I really appreciate that. I'll look later, but thank you. That is really, really generous and kind, and it just flabbergasted. Thank you. I would say 3DO, it's a shame Atari Jaguar was hard to program. It shows in its games. Yeah, it was. I mean, I'm not a programmer, so I don't know how easy or hard it was, but I do know they kind of, there were faults with the hardware, but it was possible to work around them and do impressive stuff. But that took some skill and knowledge, and not everyone had either the skill or the knowledge. And so a lot of the games that did come out were pretty embarrassing even. It's a shame. I think Atari were maybe just not giving a crest out of it, had shared the information. It maybe could have done better, but at that point Atari were just a joke, which is a shame. Eugene says, I have no space or budget for VR, but I bought a phone with gyro sensor, so maybe I should at least toy with one of these phone VR headsets. I tell you what, I would recommend giving that a go. I've done it in the past. My current phone doesn't have the gyros, but the one I had before it did. And it's good for giving you a taste of what VR is like. The issue I had was the gyros were not necessarily brilliantly responsive, and you did get drift. So you could be sitting looking dead ahead and the image would drift. And you had to keep resetting that if there was a control to reset it. And that was a pain in the ass. But it's good for giving you a taste of what VR can be like. I love the Xbox One for my older Xbox games. PlayStation needs to start doing the same. Too many PS1 and PS2 games with no HD modern options. Yeah, it is. On a technical level, there's no reason for them to not do it. If they don't do it, they're just lazy. And if they don't do it, they're dropping the ball and basically disrespecting their user base, customers, whatever. Glenn says, I did not like the last gen too much. You buy a game and then you put DLC all over it. Yeah. What I don't like is you buy a game, you put it in, and the first thing it does is do a massive, great big update, like 1 or 2 or 3 gigabytes. And it's like, what the hell? Come on. Just make it work out of the box, at least. DLC should be extra content. The game should work out of the box. You shouldn't have to do a massive update just for the game to work. That pisses me off hugely. Back Forward Punch says, I've probably watched at least 40 hours of video, so it's worth something. Thank you. You're you have a good day. All platforms are obsessed with DLC at the moment. Yeah, it's basically as soon as consoles were like on the internet and they realized, hey, we can release this before it's finished and then we can milk it. I mean, expansion packs were always a thing, but oh, I see the point in some DLC. If you've played the game, you've played it to death, you've finished it, you've done all the missions or quests or whatever, and you want some more. I'm kind of at that point where I might download some content for Spider-Man, maybe at some point later. But for there to be DLC on release day, that just says the game wasn't finished, or they cut it down. It could have been a bigger game. It's a rip-off. Okay, John, thanks for joining us. It is indeed an Invader Zim t-shirt. Grr rocks. Yeah, I'm not going to try and pronounce your name because I will get that wrong and embarrass myself and potentially offend you. So, but yes, respect for recognizing Zim. Love my Atari XL, just plug and play. Yeah, that is a thing, isn't it, with retro stuff? Grr, yes, grr rocks. Oh, and I'm back. Probably I'm calling it a day, night, afternoon, whatever the hell the time is soon. What have we been here? 3 hours and 42 minutes. I'm losing my voice and I've got a headache and I'm hungry. And while I don't mind drinking on camera, I'm not going to eat on camera. That's kind of a bit weird. So I'll stay for a couple more minutes and then I'm going to go. So if anyone in my bed, well, it's not near my bed there, but that is a SNES. My bed is over there. This is actually a throw and a tablecloth. I've had that tablecloth a long while and I don't remember how I came to have it. I think there is social eating category on Twitch. I can believe that. I know the look. Saying no more than that. Sure. All the people who've been in here. What game's in the SNES? It's It's a Super Game Boy cartridge, and plugged into that is a Game Boy Everdrive cartridge. So yeah, that SNES has got a few hundred Game Boy games plugged into it. Well, thank you for watching them. What am I going? I'm going to call you Zuf, and my apologies if that's not acceptable. I just don't know how to pronounce that. Ah, that's good. I would hate to offend. Hey, Cobra Deal. I'm almost certainly saying that wrong. Greetings and welcome. Random string of characters in German. Well, that's just. I mean, it looks like a serious name. Cobra Dale. Cobra Dale. My eyesight's getting bad. But I am about to go now. Apologies to all those who've only just arrived. I've been going for 3 hours and 46 minutes, and I'm losing my voice. My throat is really sore. My head it's not pounding, but it's starting to gnaw at me. And I'm hungry. So I am going to go. I want to say thank you to all of you who have joined me and been brilliant viewers and chat compatriots. I think that's a good word. It has been fun. Sheba the Destroyer, hi, and in a moment, bye. Yeah. 9/11 gamer just got here. Sorry, Steve, your timing's appalling. Cheers for joining us, Austin. Yeah, I'm going to have to go. Thank you all. It's been a blast. We will. That explains. Going now.